that FMS interview for others lasted for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it lasted for 40 minutes. Till
Whoa.
date, I don't know why did that happen. Okay, there are companies which will have like, let's say CTC is 25 and fixed is your 23. Okay. Then there will be companies jinka CTC is 70 but fixed is 19.
Mm.
Which is why CTC is the worst thing to look at.
Welcome to Gatsby's Gyan. You're watching the Mba Series, which is an endeavor to cover prominent B schools across the country and help give aspirants a real picture of the college they seek admission. Stay tuned for more updates by subscribing to the channel. Hi Anushika, a very warm welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thanks, Rupal. I'm doing really great. What about you?
I'm also trying to pull along after the defeat of yesterday. It's
Oh,
heartbreakingly painful.
you actually reminded me of that. Okay. I think I had forgotten it somehow, and you reminded me of it. So now I am not feeling great.
You had a meeting in the morning as well, right? You were talking of some
Yeah,
call that you had to
yeah,
attend.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So currently you're working at Ernst and Young. What
Yeah,
was the
EY
what's the
Parthenon.
subdivision of it?
So I'm currently with the strategy group, your EY Parthenon, okay, and I'm working with the TMT team, which is your telecom, media, and technology team.
Mm-hmm.
So there I am working as a business consultant. But
Mm-hmm.
since I've started I started in May.
Mm-hmm.
I do not really play a very large role in any of the projects yet because I'm still learning. See, I haven't been in consulting yet, and this specific field is totally new for me because I have been an FMCG enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it's anything related to FMCG, if it's anything related to GTM, I can do it, but this specific field is very new for me, and I think my team has been very helpful because, while starting with our projects and everything, I specifically told them, ki, I am not very well versed with all of this. So at least for now, I am learning, which is why even when we have meetings, a lot of times I do not have to contribute a lot, but
Mm-hmm.
I just have to grasp whatever is going on and how can I contribute well going ahead.
And you have to focus on the execution as well. That's what you're trying to emphasize at. More than
Yeah, so see,
contributing to the plans.
yeah, so see, when it comes to execution, okay, there are two parts. First of all, you are diagnosing a problem, okay.
Yeah.
So see, let's say when you're diagnosing a problem, I, as a newbie, cannot really diagnose a problem that high of a level, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can do is I can offer some support work, okay. Let's say if we have some data, okay, I can analyze it. I can come up with anomalies. Ki, yaar, okay, these are the problems that I can see right now, and then maybe my seniors can pitch in. Similarly, when it comes to the execution phase, again, I can do some back end work, or let's say peep deck making, which is anyway the master of consulting. So
Yeah.
yeah, so at least I completed my 6 months this month only in November. So
Mm-hmm.
I think till date I have done that much only, but it has been a great experience.
A couple of questions in the follow-up, Anushika. It's something very unusual to hear that consulting as a domain is accepting of the FMCG students out there. FMCG happens to run for all the marketing people. So you citing that consulting people are very accepting of that. That's a surprise. And
Hmm.
secondly, you had to join right after your examinations from FMS. Like you're telling me
No,
that you
no,
had to
no.
join in May.
Yeah, so we had our examinations at the end of March, okay, and then we had a
Oh.
convocation on around 9th of April, and then I got a break of 1 month. Though I was lucky to have a break of 1 month, there were some people whose joining was like around 15th or 16th April as well. So
Oh.
like they just got, yeah, one of my friend directly shifted from our North Delhi ka flat to the South Delhi ka flat because his location was in South Delhi.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense, makes sense. But so the academic calendar of FMS is not on lines with DU. That's what you're trying to say.
We have our own date sheet because those date sheets are planned by our professors and our class representatives. So for that reason, I know that it is not aligned with the
The
DU
rest of the
date
courses,
sheet.
the
Yeah,
rest of the
yeah,
postgraduate courses. That's what you're trying
yeah,
to say.
yeah.
So, will it be fair enough to make a statement that FMS clearly stands out from the rest of the postgraduate courses offered at DU? Like
Absolutely,
completely,
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
problem is with, yeah, please.
Sorry. So yeah, see, I just feel that currently we are following a semester system, and even though FMS stands out from DU, I personally feel that somehow the semester system is, taking it back and not allowing it to compete with the other tier 1 B schools. Okay, because even till date, what I have experienced, as far as the subjects taught are concerned, as far as the pedagogy is concerned, I feel that it is very outdated. And I think that is happening because we are trying to align with the DU syllabus. Okay. Like, let's say if you're talking about marketing, we're not talking about the digital marketing. Okay. Even if you're talking about digital marketing, it is very outdated. It is a very, what to say, very ancient version of digital marketing, which is something that we don't even use till date. So yeah, I don't understand how is that helpful. In fact, a lot of times we even asked our professors that, how is this going to help us? See, today when you join an FMCG company, the first thing, I have been a marketing enthusiast. So you please be ready to hear a lot of it from me. So
I'd
when
be more
you
than happy to. I'd be more than happy to.
yeah, yeah. So see, if you join an FMCG company, the first thing that you have to do is sales. Okay. Now a lot of it should be taught to you in the college, given that you will be doing it moving forward. Okay. But I don't think any of that was actually taught to us. Instead, we did have some external courses, not external courses, but I would say certifications, okay, which were related to your FMCG distribution, etc. But it was not taught in length in the college itself. Okay.
There
And
was
this
also this
was
lack of practical approach, probably. It's all theory, right? When you read it
absolutely,
out of a book.
yes, absolutely. And in fact, sometimes you do not even have a defined syllabus as such. Okay. Sometimes it works great because, for example, we had a distribution ka this thing subject,
Hmm.
and our professor was someone who had worked in PepsiCo for a very long time. So he
Hmm.
knew exactly how the distribution network works. Okay.
Hmm.
So he used to teach us on a case to case basis.
Wow.
Now, in that case, your not having a definite syllabus is good.
Yeah.
But then sometimes what happens is when you do not have, some professors take an approach, ki, okay, we do not have a syllabus. So I don't know if I should say this or not, but it happens that they just
Take
teach
it
you
for
anything.
granted.
And
They take it for
not
granted.
take for granted, but I would say they just teach you very common things, which is not something that is going to add value. ठीक है अभी let's say if you're let's take digital marketing ठीक है
Mhm.
um digital marketing, I have been a digital marketer, which is why I knew in length ki, okay, what all things do we
What
do
was
now.
it?
If you're talking about digital marketing, SEO, SEM, etc., are
Yeah.
very common things. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as an MBA student, if I'm learning digital marketing, I should know what is SEO, what is
Yeah.
SEM, how do I leverage SEO in order to increase the reach of my website. Okay. But none of it is really taught. ठीक है.
What is taught is newspapers wale ads jo hote hain, call karke ads hote hain. That's what they're
Not
teaching us
even
about
ads,
digital
yeah.
marketing.
So most of the time it's definitions, okay.
Oh.
uh so yeah, see, a lot of it depends on the professor as well. Okay. We have some absolutely brilliant professors, like I think Harsh sir, many know him because I think FMS is known as the mecca of marketing for a few people. We have Garima ma'am. They are, it's amazing. Like when you talk to them about marketing na, you'll get that real gist of how things go behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And trust me, it's absolutely fantastic to know about it. Okay.
Yeah.
But then I feel there is no check on other professors who maybe might not be contributing exceptionally to your learnings. So
Acha,
yeah.
to make a statement, to make a comparison with the rest of the professors, do you say that the ones who are actually representing marketing in a very phenomenal way, are they
Hmm.
the outliers or are they the ones who are common at FMS? What are you trying to say?
Yeah, so those are the permanent faculties. Okay, the
Acha.
permanent faculties are absolutely brilliant. Okay, we have Soma ma'am. So I still remember I hated economics when I joined FMS, but
Yeah.
she teaches it in a way that you'll start loving it. And I think that is a specialty of a professor. That should be the specialty of a professor.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's brilliant at it. So these are the your permanent faculties. Okay, who are great at it. Sometimes when you have guest faculties, again, guest faculties also, some of them are really nice. Like the PepsiCo example I gave you, that sir is also a guest faculty only. But sometimes I think guest faculties are not accountable. No one really holds them accountable. So they are not that great.
apart from accountability, it also has to do with Delhi University's fraternity, all the problems with having ad hoc professors and not paying them well and
Yeah,
all of that. So it's
exactly.
a multifaceted problem, but we'll dwell into it in greater depths, of course. But
Yeah.
talking of your comparison that you mentioned that okay, whatever course you're learning as a part of FMS curriculum is not on par with the rest of the Tier 1B schools. That is
Hmm.
what you were trying to emphasize, and the concept of semester and trimester as well. So
Yeah.
coming back to those comparisons, I'd like to ask you of your comparison when you were at a juncture in 2021 when you had to pick
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
college for yourself.
Yeah.
So what went into that decision? How did you arrive at FMS, and that entire
Yeah. Yeah.
experience? Yeah.
Okay, so I think, I was lucky enough to have friends or at least seniors in mostly all the B schools.
That's
Mostly
one
I'd say
big network.
connection.
That's one big
Yeah.
network.
Yeah, so they call me networking queen at FMS.
Oh,
Yeah, so I started that even before FMS. But I feel that's very important to have the clear picture because, see, a lot of people, they kind of get blindsided by the name ABC. Okay.
precisely.
Yeah, so you feel ki, okay, fine, this person has converted Ahmedabad, and you automatically consider that this is the most intelligent person out there I know of.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the case a lot of
But the
times.
reality might be otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah. My best friend from FMS, she converted ABC. I converted Bangalore. I never thought I'll convert Bangalore, but yeah, I did. So, but we chose FMS. Okay. Why?
Yeah.
See, sometimes you have to be very, very realistic while making a college selection because there are a lot of things involved. See, for me, I do not really come from a very financially privileged background, so I knew the importance of money. And in fact, I think uh, somehow that is what led me towards CAT. Okay, but when it came to deciding for the college, if I did not have FMS, I would be absolutely happy to join Bangalore. Okay, but since I had FMS, number one, fees is low, and for us in back in 2021 it was all online. Okay, so I had
Mm.
no other expenses apart from your fees.
The
Okay,
fees
and that was also just I think 48,000 for like 6 months. So
per
that's
semester 48K. Yeah.
yeah, so I paid it out of my savings itself. So that was a great achievement for me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the second thing is your own profile.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people in Bangalore have a stellar profile. I think I have seen a lot of them.
Mm.
Since, like I told you, they were my seniors. So I got a real picture of it that even being a girl, it might not really pan out in my favor because I come from Kanpur University, which is not considered to be great, and I absolutely accept that. The second thing is 60%. So in Kanpur University, your highest percentage itself goes to like 64, 65%.
Whoa.
But I cannot explain the same to the this
The
thing
board.
to your
Yeah.
companies, okay? So if I'm not getting a shortlist there, that is going to be a really serious thing for me because when I have taken a loan of 25 lakhs and then I'm not landing at a job which offers me a good package, a good in-hand salary, it's not going to be of use for me. Okay, so
Precisely.
there comes that practical decision that instead of going for a brand that the world knows and that your relatives know, very importantly, I chose to go for FMS. And then, okay, I have always been interested in marketing. Like I told you, I was working with this media company, and since it was a startup, so the best part was all of us were involved in all of the functions, and I think I loved marketing the most.
Mm.
Then I made it to Unilever Change Makers, and I think I just loved how HUL works. I loved all the functions, brands. In fact, when I joined FMS, I still remember everyone knew that this girl is going to HUL. Okay. So I knew their brands that well. So, FMS is known as Mecca of marketing.
Mhm.
Again, a plus point for me. So, all my boxes ticked with respect to FMS as
Yeah.
compared to I'm Bangalore. So, which is why I was sure. कि हाँ, ठीक
Have,
है.
having a clear idea of what your financial independence looks like plays a major role.
Yeah,
Secondly, identifying your strengths and your relative profile grading.
yeah,
That's something that you
exactly.
shed a lot of light on. So,
Exactly.
talking of you, Anushika, how were you so sure about constraining yourself exclusively to marketing? That marketing is the
Uh,
domain I want to exploit.
okay. See, I am a very filmy, emotional person. Okay. And I really
That goes
believe
with
you
all the
can.
marketers, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So I was coming to that only. And overall as well, I feel that, when it's about career, uh, you should be doing something कि, when it's Sunday, you are looking forward to a Monday morning because you want to do that particular thing. It should not be like कि नहीं यार Monday है, ठीक है? Though even that's not the case with my job right now. It's really nice. But if I talk about the fact that I wanted to be a marketer, I can connect with people really well. Okay, I can talk to them. I mean, I'm very confident that if I have to carry out consumer immersions, it can be your SCCA, SACC. I can connect with either of them. Okay, and it helped me a lot when I was a brand intern at Reckitt.
Mm-hmm.
And then your creativity, communication. Okay, see, unless and until you are very much interested in things like these, I don't think you can give your best. Okay,
Yeah.
and I have been someone who really loves giving her best. Unless and until I'm giving my best, I'll be depressed. Anushika, what are you doing? Why are you not giving your best? So, which is why I was very sure that okay, I have to go for marketing.
Yeah. Makes sense. What's SEC again?
It's
SACC,
it's
SEC?
yeah, it's a socio-economic class. So that is a term that we use in marketing.
Social economic class. Like you pitch the product to a specific segment. That's what you call it.
Yeah, target segment. So like
STP
let's
one
say,
says.
yeah, kind of,
Uh-huh.
because let's say if it's a costly product, okay, if
Mm-hmm.
it's a luxury product, you'll be pitching it to a CCA, which is typically your high
The
salaried
cream of the
person.
this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense, makes sense. And then, talking of the way all the colleges that you applied it was shortlisting you, were there any
Yeah.
differences between how FMS interview experience was compared to the rest of the B schools?
Not really. I think my I'm Bangalore and FMS interview experience as well as XLRI interview experience were mostly similar. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that XLRI interview focused more on this thing, marketing knowledge, because I told them that I'm interested in marketing. So my entire interview revolved around marketing.
Mm-hmm.
My FMS interview and my I'm Bangalore interview both were, I think, around my entire profile. Anything that they could have asked me, they asked me.
Wow.
The only difference in FMS interview with me was, in my particular case, was that FMS interview for others lasted for like 5 or 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it lasted for 40 minutes. Till
Whoa.
date, I don't know why did that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think it went so great that I was among top 10 people on the basis of admission score. Okay,
Wow.
and that was definitely because of the PI score only. So in my FMS interview, they talked to me about myself, about my city, about BSc. They did ask me questions about BSc as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best part was the only difference between Bangalore and FMS was that Bangalore did not give me a chance to explain that why did I get a 60% in graduation. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
FMS, on the other hand, they first asked me questions from BSc, and thankfully, I was able to answer all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, be it your maths questions, be it your physics, be it your chemistry questions. Those were in depth questions, trust me. Okay, I mean, I was thinking, what is even going on?
Yeah.
Why are they asking me such in depth questions? I
Yeah.
was able to answer all of them, and then the professor is like, Anushika, you seem to be a really smart girl. Why have you scored a 60% in BSc? And then, I could explain it to him. So I
Okay.
think that was very nice of him to confirm this, because I have been a high scorer right from the beginning. 10th, 12th, I was an Inspire scholar, and then comes BSc. So Bangalore people were already offended with the fact that I haven't performed well in BSc, and
Yeah.
I think that played out a bit in my interview as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so FMS people were very friendly, very friendly.
But talking of the relevance of all those questions from your graduation, like asking you in-depth science and mathematics questions, do you think it's
Yeah.
anywhere relevant when you're applying for an MBA degree? Had it been an
Yeah.
MSc degree, I would have agreed. But asking those questions in an MBA interview, what are they trying
I
to test you?
think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it shows your commitment. Okay. Let's say, as far as these interviews are concerned, MBA interviews are concerned, I haven't really seen people, except for Indore, I haven't really seen people judging you on these questions, because if you're not able to answer these, you can always say, ki, yaar, okay, it's
I
been
forgot.
2 years.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. I left BSc. Okay. And now, since I am marching towards management education,
Ask me.
I don't think, this is going to work. But yes, I do need, see, if you don't know one thing, you should know the other thing, so that you can say, ठीक
Hmm.
है, अभी ना, I don't know this thing, but yes, I know about marketing, and I'm confident enough that you can ask me anything about marketing.
Mm, mm, mm,
Okay.
mm, mm.
So you should have that much confidence if you do not know about your graduation subjects. But yes, I feel they were just testing my commitment, testing, that if I'm saying that I could not score more than 60 because that is what Kanpur University offers you. So
Yep.
they were just testing, if I am actually being honest or if I'm just bluffing.
Yep, yep, yep. Are you able to back up your claims with facts or you're just bluffing? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
And so, more importantly, when you talked of, all of your course being online, so 1 year of your course was online or the entirety
Yes,
of?
yes. 1 year, 1 year.
So the rest of the year when you came back to campus, was it more
Hmm.
of a shock that, oh, this is not as big as I am Bangalore? Was it a mistake leaving that place? Or were you happy?
I think I never really thought about campus, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because for me, MBA has always been about learning things, ठीक है, making my network, and grabbing a good job.
Yeah.
But then comes Kamla Nagar. I think I'll choose Kamla Nagar any day over I'm Bangalore, I'm Lucknow campus. See,
Mm-hmm.
I think there are a lot of things that people don't talk about when it comes to independence that FMS offers you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, not just financial independence. See, our campus may what happens is you do not have any responsibilities. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you go to the mess, you have your food. At FMS, you have to get your own flat, so your negotiation skills start right from the point when you are hunting for a flat.
Yeah.
ठीक है?
Yeah.
I still remember I got the rent reduced from 65,000 to 55,000 per month, and I was so happy that my negotiation skills are actually working here. Okay. The second thing is managing a household. Okay.
Yeah.
You have your grocery, you have your cook, maid, etc. Doing all that calculation, coming to a specific number that okay, this much savings we did in this month. ठीक
Yeah.
है, comparing Blinkit, Zepto, etc. कि नहीं कहाँ सस्ता मिल रहा है,
Cost
right?
cutting.
Yeah. So you actually apply all the things, yeah. I mean, you're actually applying all your MBA knowledge here. ठीक
Precisely.
है?
Precisely.
Exactly. And when you talk about roaming around the campus, Kamla Nagar is the best place to roam around.
Yeah.
I still remember we would just go on late night walks at even 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's very safe, first of all. I mean, okay, touch wood, I never faced any such thing that I can say it's not safe. Uh, then it's lush green, okay. I'm a very big foodie, so it offers you a lot of food joints. You can go for shopping as well. The best part, no one is standing there to stop you or to tell you कि you have to be back by 11 or you'll be expelled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so I think nahi yaar, it was amazing experience.
That's one disadvantage with the rest of the campuses that they're placed in dormant parts of the city, in
Yeah,
distant parts
exactly.
of the city where they're disconnected with all the forms of food joints and stuff. And talking of negotiations, all those discount, haggling and all would have come in handy when you're trading in Palika Bazaar and the rest of the markets as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Probably. So,
True, true.
Anushika, building upon that again, the reason I'm trying to emphasize on the idea of being a day scholar is the
Hmm.
problem that when you're living in a hostel, when you're surrounded by 400 people of your cohort, you get
Hmm.
to ideate a lot, you get to interact with all of them and take part in case competitions, most
Yeah,
importantly,
yeah, yeah.
and then also work on ideas. And that's a kind of life. So, are we
Yeah.
not missing out on that when we are a part of FMS?
Yeah, so okay. I think most of the FMS people are concentrated in Kamla Nagar. So we
Mm-hmm,
kept visiting each of those places. Okay.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Apart from parties and all,
Yeah,
we did have a lot of such meetups where we are preparing or applying to this corporate competitions, working on this. So I did a lot of corporate competitions. Okay. I think there was a point when they told me, please don't participate because we also want to win. Okay.
mm-hmm.
So I participated in a lot of them, and I never thought that okay, if I would have been in a hostel, then it would have been better. Never did I. Yeah, we have Google Meet these days. Okay, we have
Yeah,
so many means by which you can be connected with others.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
makes sense.
The other thing that you just mentioned, I am in touch with a lot of people from other B schools, and I never got to know that they're learning something from others. Okay, so let's just
Yeah,
please burst the bubble.
yeah.
ये जो बातें होती है ना कि I learn peer learning etc. All this is good in interview only.
Whoa,
When you when you
that's a very
actually
strong
join,
claim, by the way.
Yeah, I think, so I am not a very big party person.
Yeah.
But when I talked to my friends or people I knew, and so we have a group called Underdogs. Okay, we'll get to that at a later stage. But
Yeah.
yes, so from there as well, I was in contact with a lot of people from other B schools. Yeah, when it comes to corporate competition, you're also doing the same thing. I'm also doing the same thing. When
Yeah.
it comes to class assignments, I'm also doing the same thing. You're also doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, one thing that just stands out is that they get to party a lot at a common place because
Mm,
it's their hostel. For
mm,
us, you have to go to a person's place or somewhere else.
yeah.
So that was the only difference. Peer learning happens if you want it to happen. Okay, you don't really need to be in a hostel for that.
That's a very strong claim because most of the people that I've been interviewing have been advocating for the fact that they're paying 25 lakhs exclusively for the fact that they get to share their classroom with peers. So that's a very strong claim. I like that. I
See,
like that. That's
I'm very clear. So I also had these misconceptions before joining FMS. I thought that, okay, I don't know finance. I'll be the god of finance after MBA. When MBA happened, I remember just going through the notes a day before exam, writing the exam and forgetting
yeah,
all about it.
yeah, yeah.
uh, I think you need to be very realistic. ठीक है यार? I don't think you need to be. So, see, when aspirants listen to you,
Mhm.
they should have a clear picture of everything in your mind, in their mind. ठीक है?
Yeah.
They should not think कि नहीं यार MBA करके ना मैं भगवान बन जाऊंगा.
They should
If
not
you
have an
want to,
exaggerated version of reality. That's what you're trying to.
exactly. If you really want to be the god of something, you have to put in efforts, be it MBA or no MBA.
Yeah, yeah.
ठीक है? Yeah.
So, talking of the fact that you had aspirations of turning out to be a finance god, but you ended up becoming a marketing queen. So, is
Hmm.
MBA all about fortifying your strengths or working on your weaknesses? What would your view on that be?
I think it differs from person to person, okay? Because see, for me, the thing is, if I do not know something, I feel weak. That is my weakness as well. I want to know everything. So
Yeah,
I feel, if I'm standing at a table and if there's a conversation going around finance, I should
yeah,
be able to contribute to it. Which is
yeah,
why I give you an example कि I wanted to be the god of finance, कि हाँ, I
yeah,
know this because I knew marketing already.
yeah,
ठीक है? But when I joined FMS, I think for FMS, only your first 3 months are very hectic because you have to appear for your summer internship placements.
exactly.
Okay. And at that point, it's very important for you to know ki, where does your interest lie so that you can have a structured preparation. Okay. Now, if you are someone who's into marketing, you
Mm,
can also vouch for consulting or even fraudman. Okay.
mm,
But if you are targeting finance, you should have some information about finance, right? At least some basic information or let's say some interest.
yeah,
Okay. So that is important. But yes, if I talk about MBA, I think yeah, apart from your domain knowledge, so like I told you, okay, if
it's
we
a
talk
given.
about
Yeah,
marketing, it's a lot you can learn at a brand stint more than you can learn at MBA. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So I think MBA is more about managing yourself. Okay. Other things is you're making your network, learning from them. So it's not pure learning. Okay. Let's just first clarify that. It's not pure learning, but it's learning from your network. And this
Targeted learning.
network, yeah,
Yeah,
and this network has to be around V schools, has to be around the companies. I made friends at HUL, at other startups, so that I can, keep learning from them. Then
yeah.
the second thing is your applied learning. Let's say if you're so like I told you in the beginning, one of our professors taught it research. Okay.
Mhm.
And if we talk about research, there are different types of researches when it comes to marketing.
Mhm.
Now it is up to you how you're going to apply it in the outside world. So
Yep.
let's say if I'm visiting a store, if I'm visiting a plum store, since I was very much interested in marketing, I would start asking that person, these are the questions. Can you please answer this for me? It's not for any assignment. It's just for me to
Your
understand.
knowledge. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it definitely complemented my marketing knowledge. But yeah, apart from that, it also made me evolve as a person.
As a more well-rounded person instead of just being a marketing
Absolutely.
this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But talking of that, your aspiration of trying to become somebody who's good at finance. So there's little room for somebody who wants to be good at a couple of things. That's what you're trying to say.
No,
There's
I
little
am
room.
saying it depends on you. Okay. Because for me, once I was the first one to get placed at Reckitt. I got placed even before our summer internship process started. ठीक है.
Because of the case competition, right? You
Because
guys
of the
take part.
case
Yeah,
competition,
yeah,
yeah, ठीक है, because of the case competition. Abhi after that, I wanted to travel, ठीक है, which is why I think my interest shifted from learning a lot to traveling.
yeah,
Okay. And I don't regret it, because honestly speaking, I didn't, even though I wanted to learn finance, I never really developed interest in that particular field.
mm,
Okay. But if you are someone who is interested in this field,
yeah.
you'll definitely go forward and learn it now. So it all depends on you.
And what do you want to make out of this MBA?
Never think that someone is going to get it on a spoon and hand it over to you. Ki, okay, take this and eat it. It's not going to happen. Let's be. If
Mhm.
you're paying 25 lakhs, please don't expect that someone will just hand it to you and say, ki, "ठीक है यार, you have this, you eat this." It's not going to happen. You
Yeah.
have to put in efforts.
At the end, it's all about you upskilling yourself. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you talking of you cramming through all of your finance textbooks just one day before the examination. Let's talk a little bit about the marking structure as well. How
Yeah.
does it all plan out? Like, what are the marking distributions? Like, we have 7 subjects per semester.
Yeah. So the thing is, see, I think it's mostly relative grading for us. ठीक है, so that helps because
That's
some
contrary to what runs in the rest of the colleges in DU, by the way.
I don't know about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times what happens is some professors are famous for giving you such tough question papers. Okay, so I think relative grading works in the helps in that case.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's start from the beginning. If we talk about the subjects, okay, your subjects are spread across week, across the entire week. So you do not have a specific duration of classes that you need to attend per day.
Hmm.
Okay, so in this entire week from Monday to Saturday, you have these courses, your 7 courses, like you mentioned. And then, our curriculum is also divided because we have to attend some classes in North Campus and we have to attend some classes in South Campus.
That
Okay,
fancy bus in which all of you come to our
it's not
SPGN
fancy.
auditorium. It looks
It's
fancy
not.
to all the people who are not a part of it. You come to
Yeah,
SPGN auditorium and then you land
yeah.
down.
Yeah. So that campus, so like for me, it was Monday, Tuesday, South Campus and Saturday, South Campus.
Acha.
Okay, because I had opted for an optional subject. So Monday, Tuesday is was used to be compulsory subjects for me, which is attended by your entire section.
Mhm.
Okay, and then the rest of the classes are your optional classes,
Mhm.
which anyway you have to opt for. I think the best part is this I really love because one of my friends was in NMIMS and he told me that he has to bid for those subjects. Right, you have these credit points and you have to bid for for us. There was nothing like that. You just have to write your name, fill a
Yeah.
form that I
Yeah.
have to join this subject, and you get that subject. So I think life at FMS is very easy as compared to other B schools.
Talking of
Okay.
it being easy, other this thing, what do you call it? Attendance rates is well easy. Like, do you have compulsions that okay, this is the minimum requirement, or do you get
Uh,
relaxation there as well?
no. So we do have a minimum requirement, and actually, our dean got stricter day by day because a lot of people were not attending the college after COVID, especially
Yeah.
because we were not used to going to the class,
Obviously.
right?
Yeah.
Mhm. So 75% is your minimum attendance requirement.
Hmm.
And now it has got to that level that if you do not have 75% attendance, you will not be allowed to sit in the exams. And initially we thought कि नहीं नहीं ऐसे ही बोल रहे होंगे जी, things that happen in a government college. Later we figured out कि नहीं, they actually didn't let them sit, which is why a lot of people had around, I think, 10 subjects pending कि, because they couldn't appear for it.
Whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
And coming back to that question, how are the subjects marked? Like the 100 marks that you have for every subject, so
Yeah.
70 goes for the NSEMs and 30 for the internals.
Yeah, 30 for the internals.
That's so
Internals
unlike
is,
the rest of the B schools, right?
yeah, I mean, on that front, I'd say it is a bit demotivating because you're back to the board ka structure, okay,
Hmm.
board exams.
Hmm.
So what I hated about board exams was I am someone who loves writing in flow charts, okay, flow
Yeah.
charts, points, to the point answer.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
even if I have to explain, I'll probably explain it in a flow chart rather than writing that entire Ram Kahani.
Yeah.
है ना?
Yeah. Yeah.
The problem at FMS was that you have to fill pages. And
Now we're talking of a DU college. Finally.
Yeah, that was the most horrific experience for me because I am just too used to giving a very good presentation. Okay, a very good handwriting with all markers and lines and all. So
Yeah.
my friends used to say that you were making a ppt kya, in the exam paper. It used to be that pretty. Okay, and if
Wow.
I'm not doing that, I won't be satisfied. तो मैं
Wow.
लिख ही नहीं पाऊंगी फिर आगे. So that was a very big problem for me because if you have to fill pages, you
Yeah.
cannot do all this. ठीक है.
Exactly.
So at one point I gave up. I was like, it's fine, you just give me whatever marks you want to give me, it's fine. But it's also, not fair. ठीक है. uh Today I don't even know the last time I used a pen to write something. Okay,
Hmm.
because we are working on laptops. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
if you want us to fill pages, at least allow us to use laptops. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
which was the case in IMT because I had a friend there, and they could submit, these digital papers instead of handwritten papers.
Pen paper examination. Whoa.
Yeah, so that was really nice, yeah, because I think FMS is lagging behind a lot. They really need to just come at the forefront and see कि exactly हो क्या रहा है बाहर,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, First of all, using pen paper is wrong. You can just give cases, and on the basis of, so we still have cases. But yeah, see, it doesn't make sense कि उस case के explanation में I'm writing anything just for the sake of filling pages. It's not fair from
Mm-hmm.
the learning point of view.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that 70 marks are attached to NSIMs as well, that's also unfair.
Exactly. So there are certain things that they really need to change, but yeah, it is what it is.
But these are the problems that you have to face when you're affiliated with the University of Delhi.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot of room for improvement, and probably in the coming days when we have your succeeding batches, they'll have a different approach
Hopefully.
with things.
Yeah.
And again, sort of trying to dwell deeper into the kind of pedagogy that's at FMS. So you told that
Hmm.
okay, the permanent faculty is really good, remarkably good, but the ad hoc faculty, a few of them are not good, few of them are
Yeah.
relatively bad. So talking of all the subjects apart from marketing,
Hmm.
what are the kind of professors over there?
Yeah, so see, I only opted for marketing, so I know about that. Okay,
So
but
you
yes,
only get to choose one optional in your second year, like only
no,
marketing,
no,
not
no.
something
You
else
can
as well.
you can go you can go for other options as well. I chose marketing
No,
subjects
no, no.
because,
I
like I
mean the
told
number
you,
of options, the number. You have to choose only one optional.
no, 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 no. We have in fact just four compulsory subjects,
Mm-hmm.
and rest are optionals.
The
Okay.
rest are optional. So you need
Yeah.
to pick
So
two pairs of options, or only
yeah,
marketing
yeah,
will
two
suffice.
pairs of options. No,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Are also see that is what I'm saying. You do not really need to. You have credits, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start from the beginning. You have credits for
Yeah.
particular subjects,
Yeah.
and you need certain credits in order to specialize. Like, let's
Yeah.
say if I am specializing in marketing, okay,
Yeah.
I should have at least five. Let's say if marketing is my major specialization, I should
Mm-hmm.
have at least five sub subjects of this thing, marketing.
Oh,
Okay,
makes sense. Makes sense.
got it. Then we have around three for your minor specialization, then four for dual specialization. So you have rules like that, and you
Mm-hmm.
have to choose according to that. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, you're free to choose whatever you want to. There's no other rule ki nahi,
True.
you should have this much marks or this much CGPA you should have in order to choose this subject. No, you just have to
Yeah.
fill a form, choose a subject, and move on. Yeah.
Wow. So talking to the rest of the professors, they're all right, or you've seen anything troublesome? Ki bhai, this is not what I expected at FMS.
Not really. I think I have heard all the good reviews, especially about the finance faculties. And one of them is Pankaj Sinha sir. So he took my interview, FMS interview. And in that interview itself, he explained so much to me with respect to finance that I think that was the point when I thought कि नहीं यार मुझे ना finance तो पढ़ना ही है. But then I realized कि नहीं I don't want to.
I'm good with
ठीक है,
marketing.
just I'm
And
good with marketing. Yeah, exactly. I'm good with marketing. Hmm.
coming on to your career, it's nothing short of
Yeah.
a surprise when I see somebody as inspired by marketing as yourself switch to consulting.
I
That's a
think
shock.
yeah, I think it's about improvising. Okay, like I told you in the beginning as well, if you're someone interested in marketing, you can go for consulting as well as
Consulting.
prodman.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I think consulting offers you, see, there are two things. Either you restrict yourself to your interest, okay,
Mm,
which
mm,
I initially thought of doing. But then the second thing is You just have one life, okay? So I really wanted to explore other fields as well,
Mm-hmm.
but while keeping the scope of me switching to marketing open. Okay, so when you
Mm-hmm.
talk about consulting or when you talk about prodman, you can
Yeah.
always switch to
Switch
marketing.
back to marketing. Yeah.
It's right. Though I am in TMT, I still plan on moving to consumer goods consulting sometime in future, and then maybe to a brand strategy role. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
my plan for myself right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it might change in future,
Yeah.
but it is like this right now. Okay. The second thing is okay, prodman.
Yeah.
I think to anyone who watches this video, I would just like to suggest don't restrict yourself, at least for the 2 years that you are in an MBA. Don't just restrict yourself, especially when it comes to case comms. ठीक है कि नहीं, I do not have to do a PM case com because I'm someone who's interested in marketing. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
used my marketing techniques in Microsoft PM challenge and I won it. I never thought I
Wow.
will because
Wow.
I used all my marketing knowledge in that and they loved that. Okay. The Microsoft people loved that.
Yeah. 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 So it's
So
all
I
about
think,
being flexible with whatever your interests are, and then
yeah,
allowing your horizons to be broadened at the end of the day.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So coming back to the rest of the placements of the campus, so do you guys follow a all year round placements that one company is turning up one day, 1 week, or are they day zero, day one, day two? How does it all work?
It's day zero, day one, day two because we I don't think we can afford to have a year-round placement, and I don't think there is a need to because even when the market was not good last year, I still remember there were companies that were left to visit the campus, but all the kids were placed. ठीक
Oh.
है, which is not a scenario that you expect in a bad market. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that is a very big advantage that FMS, a college
That is
like
where
FMS
brands come
offers you.
into play, you know? Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. ठीक है.
So, yeah,
Uh, because see, yeah,
please,
sorry,
please,
yes,
please,
please.
please. No, you
Huh,
continue with that, yeah.
yeah. So see, Abhi, sorry, where was I?
You were talking of
The
brands, you
placement.
were talking of the fact that,
Exactly.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. ठीक है. So abhi at that time. So now we have day wise space placement. You have your consulting, then you have let's say prodman, marketing. ठीक है. It goes on like that. We have cohorts of companies that come under consulting, that come under prodman, that come under marketing. And I think that's good. I think the best part is I don't know if this happens in other B schools or not, but we can also share our interest groups with them. Okay, we can give a priority. Like let's say for me, marketing was my number one priority. Okay,
Sure.
number second was consulting. Number three was prodman. So this also helps the placecom make informed decisions, as in where a particular student should go to. ठीक
Mm-hmm.
है. You'll always have outliers where people who are interested in marketing are joining finance. But most of the cases, most of the times, people do get their preferred this thing domain.
We'll get into the place comms intricacies later on as well. Probably the most controversial topic that I'd like to
Oh,
touch upon. But
yeah.
talking of the rest of the things that happen with regard to placement. So what is the average ratio of the number of companies and then offers that are made? Batch size is 400 or lesser than that?
Oh, not 400.
Two
For us, it was around 270. Okay.
270.
Uh, yeah. And then next year it changed to 290, and I think this year it's 310. Again, I'm not very sure. But it is around 310 or 320.
So the number of companies that turn up to offer placements in those day zero, day one, day two, they are
Hmm.
70 to 60 or more than
Yeah,
that.
again, see, it depends. Like, let's say if you are saying ki the marketing is bad, most probably tech companies are not hiring. Okay,
Yep.
so in
Yep.
that case, the number of companies coming to hire for PM will be
Yeah.
relatively lesser as compared to
Yeah.
the previous years,
Yeah.
right? Similarly, for consulting companies, let's talk about Bain. So
Yeah.
Bain has not even started the. So the people who joined Bain this year, okay, from our batch, they haven't even started working there yet. Their joining date is in, I guess, January or February. I'm not again sure about it. But that is what happens. So you cannot be very sure about the number of companies that will be visiting for a particular domain.
Mhm.
But yes, still a lot of people get placed in their preferred domain.
The minimum threshold, though, we can expect at least 50
Hmm.
companies to turn up for a batch size of 300.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least.
Overall, yes, absolutely. So see, yeah, it depends now. Let's talk about summer placements. So summer placements, the companies are relatively more because in final placements, let's say around 100 people have a PPO. So you are
Hmm.
left with 170,
170. Yeah.
right? So now you need lesser companies as compared to summer placements.
Mm-hmm. Makes
And
sense.
then a
Makes.
lot of us are also placed via case comms.
Yeah.
ठीक है, so you again need lesser companies.
Yeah. The number keeps decreasing, but if I talk of the restriction of somebody landing a PPO and then wanting to appear for the placement, are these restrictions in place?
Yes, so you have dream companies. Okay, a
Hmm.
dream company status is given to some of the companies,
Beyond a
and
significant threshold that, okay, 25
yeah,
plus or something.
25 plus and 25 what?
25 LPA plus.
No, no, it's not like that.
Oh.
They have their own set of rules in place according to
Hmm.
which a company is given a dream company status,
Hmm.
and the PPO. So most of the times, let's say if you have PPO for a company, you can only sit for companies which are above the level of that company. Okay,
Oh.
you get it right. Because it doesn't make sense for you to sit at a company which is below the level of the company you got a PPO from.
Yeah. Makes
So
sense.
you're
Makes
allowed to sit for the dream companies,
sense.
but beyond that, you are not. And I think that's really fair because if PPO candidates start sitting for placements, it will be unfair for others because
Mhm.
then they'll be snatching their opportunities.
It doesn't make sense as well somebody sitting for a salary that's
Yeah,
lower than what they landed on a PPO.
yeah.
It looks very egalitarian for now, but yeah, we'll get into it later on. And yeah, so talking of the average cash to this thing, cash to CTC ratio. Are
Yeah.
you, I mean, I'm not sure if we are allowed to talk about that, but on an average, the range happens to hover around 3 by 4th or more than that.
You can never say. Okay, there are companies which will have, like, let's say CTC is 25 and fixed is your 23. Okay, then there will be companies jinka CTC is 70 but fixed is 19,
Hmm.
which is why CTC is the worst thing to look at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
uh, now if you're comparing someone
Tell
who has a
that to an
7.
aspirant who wants to join FMS.
Oh my God, I have been I think just yesterday itself, I was telling this to one of my mentees. Since I mentor a lot of, we have a group of, like I told you, 500 plus aspirants, so I mentor them. Just yesterday, I was telling them, ki, please don't focus on CTC. Ek to CTC and that to average CTC.
Yeah. Yeah. Both of them are
Please don't look
misleading.
at it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. ठीक है. तो अभी let's say if you hear that someone has a 70 lakh ka CTC and then you're like, okay, this person has a 25 lakh ka CTC, you will be like 70 lakh CTC person is better. Okay, but in reality 25 lakh
Might
CTC
be
person is
otherwise.
better
Yeah.
because uska fix is 23. Abhi
Hmm.
we found out this calculation. It's like it gives you an approximate value of in-hand salary. Ki if
Mm-hmm.
you have fixed 23, you divide it by 15. Okay, it gives you an approximate value. Now that is the money that you're getting in hand. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not कि नहीं 23 divided by 12. So I'm nearly getting 2 lakhs everyone. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है.
But that's a good ratio, though. I'll keep that in mind.
हाँ, ठीक
I'll
है.
keep that
So
in mind.
divided by 15. Yeah. And
Yeah.
CTC to cash ratio नहीं 3/4 नहीं होता है. No one knows. It can be anything because the company decides it.
It's very subjective to all the companies out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So talking of the roles you mentioned in marketing, we have prodman and we have different kinds of roles as well. So if I talk about domain-wise roles, like if I talk of tier 2B schools, there's this one
Yeah.
significant problem that regardless of the kind of company that's turning up, they offer you associate roles. They offer you
Yeah.
roles right at the beginning of the spectrum. But when we talk of FMS, what's the case like? What are the kind of roles that they offer you?
So see, when we talk about a lot of companies, like let's say if you talk about consulting companies, okay, some of them offer you an associate role, some of them offer you a consultant role directly,
Mm-hmm.
okay. But the common factor is that ones who are offering you an associate role, they will have the level. You see, the level in the employee pyramid, the level will be restricted to tier 1B schools only. So the
Mm.
consultant in this company is equivalent to the associate in that company.
Yep.
Got it. So even though the name might differ, for example, some companies offer you a role of analyst. You might hear it and will be like, oh my God, how should I be why would I be an analyst after an MBA? But
Exactly.
that analyst is actually doing all the work of a consultant. Okay.
But is he
So
drawing the same salary?
more salary, in fact.
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the point, okay. कहते हैं ना नाम में कुछ नहीं रखा है. So
Mm.
that is what happens here as well. You see, I was working on a talent supply chain recently,
Mm-hmm.
and I read about it कि जो employee pyramid होता है, ठीक है, that is
Mm-hmm.
different for different companies. Okay, so the level for that specific employee pyramid in
Mm.
that specific company
Differs with
might
it.
be, yeah, exactly. ठीक है. And the second thing that I came to know about very recently, there are certain roles which are open only for tier 2B schools, which are not open for us. Okay.
Oh.
Why? Because they already consider कि नहीं यार, their minimum pay has to be this and we'll not be able to offer them this much. ठीक है. Which again is a good thing because they know they know your worth.
Mm.
Okay.
But there's also discrimination in hindsight.
Uh, Actually, that
Discrimination
is
on the
why
basis of
tier
brand.
one. I think you start discrimination the moment you start segregating
Segregating
colleges.
the colleges into Tier 1 and Tier 2.
Tier one, tier two, tier. So it happens. It starts right from there. Okay.
Yeah, can't help it. That's how the market runs. That's how product
Yeah.
grading happens.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are also products in the market.
True.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, building upon that as well. So, you mentioned that the roles differ with most of the companies out there, and it's pretty subjective
Yeah.
to Tier 1B schools and Tier 2.
Yeah.
So, what are the kind of factors that might play spoil sport when a person seeks to get placed? Like poor academics was one reason that made you
Yeah.
refrain from going into IIM Bangalore.
Yeah.
But when I talk of FMS, what are the kind of factors that might play spoil sport?
Shortlists are the most random thing that can happen. Okay. I had nearly the best CV in terms of marketing, but I
Mm-hmm.
did not get marketing shortlist.
That's
Okay.
surprising.
So I was so frustrated at a point because I think I did everything in my this thing
Capacity. Mm.
to just get all the marketing shortlist to land a marketing offer. But anyway, I got an offer from consulting right before that.
Mm.
Uh, but the fact that I did not get a marketing shortlist, it was very surprising to me. Uh, but yeah, it happens. So I think shortlists are the most random thing. ये जो if you talk about scores and all, it
Mm.
applies to certain sectors only. Let's say if you
Mm.
talk about consulting,
Consulting
MBB,
finance. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you need a 999 profile.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. You need a 988 profile. If you are from a tier one grad school, let's say IIT or your these tier one colleges of DU. Okay. So I think it applies there and finance. IB, I don't remember if we had any role at FMS.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you talk about marketing, best option for people who do not have a good profile.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't focus on your scores.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then the one factor that comes into play for marketing is your work experience. Okay. They do not prefer people with a lot of work experience.
Mm-hmm.
They'll either prefer freshers or let's say maximum 14 to 18 months ka work experience if you have. Obviously, there are outliers. So whatever I'm saying, there will always be exceptions. And honestly, no one knows why. You
Mm.
never know what a company ends up liking in your CV. Okay. But yes, if you talk about spoil sport, number one, it can be your gap years.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you did your graduation and after that you have 3 4 years ka gap years because you were preparing for UPSC or
Yes.
whatever. Okay. But yes, a lot of companies do perceive it negatively. Again, not all, but a lot of them.
Most of them.
Okay. Yeah. Then the second thing, obviously, your grades. Even your grades at FMS matter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not think that nahi, nahi, FMS ke grades so don't matter. They do matter. Because sometimes companies kind of sort you on the basis of your marks and then go for selection.
Yeah.
ठीक है. Then the third thing is your internship experiences, and
Mm.
this is all I'm talking about your final experience, final placements. Okay.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. So your internship experiences. Okay. Let's say if you do not do much work there, which is why it's important. See, internship में a lot of people think that ठीक है, even if you do not do a lot of work, it's fine. क्या होगा,
Mm.
PPO ही तो नहीं मिलेगा. That's not the case. Okay. You need to do some work in order to also write it in your CV, right? Then the fourth thing I would say, okay, something that really did not pan out well for me was leadership positions. So I come from a state board school. I was a literary leader there, but then when I joined Kanpur University or college here, we do not have any leadership positions. Okay, so I never ran for any. I did not have any leadership positions in my CV,
Mm.
which was a negative point for me, definitely.
Mm.
Okay. Then the last thing I would say is your extracurriculars, etc. Because then people are, what have you even done in your life? ठीक है.
Mm.
So I think you need to have those extracurriculars. These are the different sections of the CV. Okay, so I went according to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Spoil sport as such और कुछ नहीं होता है. These are the
You went
major things.
exactly according to the order. Extracurriculars सबसे नीचे आता है उसके पहले POR.
Yeah, I
Exactly
exactly
according
went in order. Yeah, yeah.
बढ़िया बढ़िया बढ़िया. It's a sad world for people who have gap years in their resume. It's a sad world for people who don't have access to exposure.
Yeah, yeah,
And the fact
absolutely.
that you mentioned that you had all the traits of a responsible marketer and then you didn't get a
Hmm.
short list of all the things, that's even more surprising.
I still don't know why, but yeah, what's gone is
Maybe
gone.
it was all conspiring to land you at EY Parthenon. I'm not
Yeah,
sure if
yeah,
that's the
yeah,
way
yeah.
you pronounce it, but yeah.
Parthenon, yeah, Parthenon, yes.
Parthenon. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So moving ahead with the discussion on your participation at FMS. So
Hmm.
FMS has a very different concept of having a student body in place that
Yeah,
charges a
yeah.
certain amount above the fees, and then we have a lot of people controlling it, and all of that goes into. So this is something that a lot of aspirants are not aware about. So
Hmm.
FMS charges you 50,000 per year, if I'm not sure.
Yeah, it keeps changing. For us, it was 45,000.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
FMS charges 45,000 above your academic fees. So now the ROI conversion will fall a little down, all those fancy conversions.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking of the student body experiences, like how was it all? Were you finding it a little irritating? Okay, oh, I'm
Not
supposed to be there.
really, not
Yeah.
really. It see, the thing is everything is good up to a limit. But it's very good that it is a student driven body. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
what I found to be problematic was that, see, when a lot of power, lot of power is bestowed on students who are your batchmates, it becomes problematic.
Yeah.
Okay? Because now they are in a position of power. They are not in a position of responsibility anymore. They are in a position
That's the
of power.
difference. That's the
Okay?
difference. Yeah. Power
Yeah,
can be
exactly.
exploited. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think I never liked that concept. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it's good that you are just doing your responsibilities really well.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's not good that you are sitting in a position where you can make decisions that impact your batchmates' lives. Okay. That can impact your batchmates' career. So I think that is a bit problematic. And if I had so okay, I was never really involved a lot in FMS in all such matters. Else I think I would have definitely requested dean or other professors to at least have some kind of control over these
Intervention.
bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. um, it's not right to just give all the responsibilities to a student, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
that's the
also
thing. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you were adding up.
You have a general secretary, you have
Mm,
a finance secretary, then you have a cultural secretary.
mm,
Okay, these are the members of your MSA,
mhm,
the first three members of your MSA. Then you have different student bodies, your marksoc, then you have your finsoc, you also have a social media cell. Okay,
mhm.
it's good you also have an entrepreneurship cell. So it's good. But again, like I told you, sometimes, and I think this happens in every B school, this is not just FMS, but
Mhm.
it's very natural, yeah. When people have power, they are going to
They're
abuse
bound
it
to exploit it. Uh,
a lot
the,
of
the
times.
the difference though when we compare it with the rest of the B schools is that there are constant referendums in place as well, which allow you to probably what do you call that? Remove a person from the placements or remove a person from the position of responsibility. Is there something of that kind available at FMS as well?
Yeah, we too have it. Okay, so we also have some general body meetings. Okay, in
Mm-hmm.
which the batchmates also participate. So let's say if we find the behavior of any student body member to be offensive, okay, we can report it,
Mm-hmm.
and he or she will be removed from that specific position.
Yeah.
Okay. But the thing is, why to give them that much power in the first place,
Exactly,
right?
exactly the problem. And there's nobody
Yeah,
controlling or supervising it. There should be a
exactly.
faculty coordinator probably who can intervene. And so again, these are all the kind of problems that you associated with being a part of DU. There's a lethargy on
Yeah.
the part of professors. Am I right to make that claim? There's a lethargy on the part of professors.
Not really. See, our professors are not accountable for a certain thing. Why will they do that? Let's be very
They should be made
clear
accountable
about
for
it.
placement,
Yeah,
right?
the
It's a
thing
B
is,
school at the end of the day. You mention it in your
exactly.
brochure, your average LPA.
Exactly. Though there were certain professors who were sometimes coordinating, but
Mm,
it was mostly on the basis of, let's say, if we need permission for an event, okay, we'll get permission from them. We got the permission. The second thing is now conducting that specific event. Okay. When you are conducting that event, how much is the money going in? Okay.
mm,
Who all are responsible for what all things? this should be monitored really well, which at times is not. Okay. Uh, and the fact that we are paying 45,000 rupees for that, for all these things, we need to know where our money is going,
Mm-hmm. And this is
right?
precisely where most of the embezzlement, the first embezzlement of all the people who want to make it into the corporate, happens.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's heart-wrenchingly painful, but building upon that, so there is a charter in place which will
Yeah, yeah,
be
there is a charter.
imposed on you when you are caught misbehaving. I mean, I don't know why they call it misbehaving, but so how does it play out? Like, what are the events where you are marked for, misbehaving and stuff?
It would be a really serious conversation to get into, so let's not dive there.
Uh-huh.
But yes, we have seen instances where people have been removed. So I at least think that that is the point where I had trust in the system, because if someone is found to be misbehaving, like you said, they will be removed at any cost. ठीक है, that is something. But उनका वो misbehavior पकड़ में भी आना चाहिए. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm not sure if my misbehavior was understood well. Misbehavior on the part of students acting professionally, not
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Professionally only, professionally
yeah,
only.
yeah.
But the thing is, how many times are you sure that you will actually catch all the misbehavior that is happening? है ना?
What are the grounds of assessing misbehavior? Like in most of the B schools, not wearing a tie properly, not being
Oh, no,
present
no,
for
no, no.
pre-placement talks. These are the kind of
Mm,
charters that are being imposed
yeah,
on
yeah.
people.
So we do have that in place, okay. And for that, we don't have to pay fines, but we get certain
Infraction
points.
points.
Yeah, we get some points, and on the basis of this your placement is decided. Okay, so some people are obviously people are terrified because it's a placement,
Yeah.
so they don't commit this. But there are certain other things that happen on the campus, and again this happens in every B school.
Hmm.
So not very common, not
Something
a very
idiosyncratic
specific
to
thing.
FMS. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you also mentioned that the placements have helped you land specific roles if you're liking that. You could mention
Mm.
a specific domain that I want to get in there.
Yeah.
Was it really the way you spoke about it? Like, really, did they assist you with all of that, or is it something on paper that the
No,
placements are
no, it
just?
actually happens that way. I know it for a fact because let's say if we talk about my internship experience, okay, I wanted marketing, so I went there. Second, my friend who participated with me in Reckitt, she couldn't make it to Reckitt. So again, she got shortlisted from all the marketing companies, okay, because her preference was marketing. ठीक है.
The
So
placements
that
went out there.
definitely happens. See, that is also a good thing to do because you can streamline students. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you are not. Let's say if a company is giving you 10 shortlist, okay,
Mm-hmm.
out of those 10 shortlists, only two people are interested in that particular company. How will
Mm-hmm.
it make sense? It will only give a bad picture of FMS, which
Mm-hmm.
is why it's important that I should have all the 10 people, a list of 10 people who are interested in that company. I'll give that
Pooling of
list to the company.
students. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. ठीक
yeah.
है, so that all 10 of them are at least interested in that specific company.
Probably this does make sense in hindsight, but when you mentioned of priorities,
Yeah.
it'll get very detailed if we get into that. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
When we talk of priorities, yeah, let it be. So again, let's try talking of the peer-to-peer learning. You mentioned that it's all woozy, it's awazi, it's fugazi, it's nothing real when we talk of peer-to-peer learning. But when we talk of the exposure that you were offered at the campus,
Mm,
like the
mm.
rest of the people that you were sharing your cohort with, did
Yeah,
you get to have a good experience? Was it fair enough to,
absolutely. Like I told you, if you want to have peer-to-peer learning, it can happen in FMS as well. So I don't think you need to pay 25 lakhs extra for peer-to-peer learning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So see, what happens is I had a friend who was absolutely great at trading. Okay. So I learned it from him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the next step is Excel. I was good at PPT. A lot of people came to me for PPT. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was good at marketing. A lot of people came to me for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Others who were good at, let's say, product management or something, they would take regular sessions before placements. Okay. So, in a digital world like ours, I don't think you need to be at the same place in order to be connected, like I mentioned
There's
even
no
before.
classroom barrier.
Yeah. The one problematic thing is that we do not have an exchange program. Okay. I think we did not touch upon that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I remembered that because we were mentioning 25 lakhs again and again.
That's
So
one
I
added
think,
advantage with the rest of them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
yeah,
exchange
that is
program.
something that I really
Would
regretted
have
not
wanted to have
having.
because you like traveling.
Absolutely. Traveling, and then, see, travel you can do anytime in your life, but that
Cultural
educational
part.
experience,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you will have in some other culture, in some other university with some other students, I really wanted to have that.
Yeah.
So that is something that I did not get here.
Yeah.
Rest, it's fine.
Apart from that, every other experience that we are talking of, it
Yeah.
depends on the student. It depends on what your aspirations are at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
exactly. See, it differs from person to person.
Yeah.
Today, I am happy because I do not have to pay 35-50,000 out of my salary for an EMI. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather go for a home loan,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? I'd rather pay this 50,000 EMI for my home.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense, makes sense.
Hmm.
The reason I was talking of that peer-to-peer learning, there's also this running concept in people's minds that people who join FMS are not serious about becoming corporate leaders.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
also that is also a running thought that they're scoring 99 percentile, but they're not sure of investing 2 million rupees, 2 million Indian rupees into that degree, and that's the reason
I don't know where
that's
are
stupid,
people.
that's foolish.
Absolutely stupid. Absolutely stupid. I think I have met so many people. One of them was a member of placement committee as well, and I absolutely used to admire whatever knowledge he had, because he had such in-depth knowledge of every single thing that you'll talk about. Okay, and I think the fact that we never have that pressure, ki we have to perform in academics, it allows us to focus on other things that are going on these
Mhm.
days. Okay, let's say if it is metaverse, now one random day metaverse will become a topic of discussion for us. Okay,
Mhm. Mhm.
कैंटीन में metaverse का discussion चल रहा है. We are
Mhm.
talking about how it can impact marketing, how it can impact consulting, how it can impact other things,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is absolutely fantastic. So what do corporate leaders do? I think people really need to have this in their mind. What is the exact role of a corporate leader? Okay, a
Mhm.
corporate leader is not someone who is just running after all the tasks. Okay,
Yeah.
they have to think from their
They
brain,
have a
like
vision in
like we
mind.
see now,
Yeah.
there is a difference between a clerk and a corporate leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not there to do the clerical work. Okay, you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
there to use your brains, you are there to define a strategy.
You're there
And
to be
how do you
creative.
exactly, how do you learn to make a strategy? When you learn to think on your feet.
Yep.
And I think that we do really well at FMS, because like I told you, we do not have any other extra pressure. ठीक
Mhm.
है? Which is why you can see FMS has also been doing really great at corporate competitions as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. Talking of not having any extra pressure, so within the span of 18 months since your exams end at March,
Yeah. Yeah.
what other things does FMS help you with to become employable,
Hmm.
to become,
Okay.
better
Yeah.
at skilling? Yeah.
For me, I think, see, because coming from Kanpur, I'll be very honest, I have never been this confident in my life. Okay. Then I also came from a state board school, like I mentioned before. So I'm been from a Hindi medium school. So again, my English conversation skills were also not that great. Okay. And then I did not really have any exposure of working in the corporate world. So it was all very new for me. Okay.
Mm,
I think when we talk about a college like FMS, for me personally, it has been great because the people have been really, really supportive. Okay.
mm, mm.
Then the second thing is, like we talked about, classroom discussions. Okay, so since the strength is not that much as compared to ABC, okay, in our classroom we might have like just especially in an optional classroom, we'd have like just 40, maximum 40 students. उसमें से भी like let's say 30 are present. Okay,
Wow.
so it gives room for a very insightful discussion, because there are not 100 people speaking. ठीक है, there are let's say 15 people speaking. Out of those 30 people, the professor is also focusing on all 30 of us, ठीक है, instead of focusing on selective 4 or 5, which has been really great because you can talk to the professor face to face and
Yeah.
discuss your doubts. Okay,
Less
then
superficiality, more in-depth discussions. That's what you're trying.
exactly, ठीक है. And then I would say the third thing, like I see, money management, cost cutting, etc. Anyway, we had discussed it.
Mm,
But a very important thing is um traveling, leaves, holidays. Okay,
mm.
a lot of my B school friends did not get those holidays or
Get
leaves,
that freedom. Yeah.
right? For us, we did have all the so you are from DB, so we have all the government holidays at least, and apart from that, we can also take some leaves.
Yeah.
ठीक
Yeah.
है. For me, that has been a very positive front because I could travel. And honestly speaking, traveling helps you a lot. It's not just for your fun, but when you focus on your surroundings, when you observe your surroundings, even traveling, planning a trip, executing that trip, even that is a managerial aspect, okay?
Makes sense. Makes sense at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But from an institution's perspective, setting
Hmm.
aside everything else as a part of the experience,
Yeah.
is there anything else
Yeah.
FMS helps you with?
I
Something that
think
is
like
specific to FMS?
absolutely. So we did talk about the negative points of MSA, but I think the biggest positive point of FMS of MSA is that students are getting to know how to manage and see you have this much money in your hand, okay,
Mm,
and you have to conduct all these events in
mm,
its best capacity,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
You have to efficiently conduct it because FMS is like a renowned college, at least in the North Campus,
yeah.
so people are going to visit it.
Not just
Okay,
in
so
North
that
Campus,
is
in the entire country. The
yeah.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for that. ठीक
yeah.
है. So Abhi, you have to conduct it. It's a very big responsibility.
Yeah.
The other responsibility is on the batchmates who are not the part of student body. Now they are learning how to raise their voice against the student body. Okay, uh, that is also a very
Now we're talking
important thing.
democracy.
एग्जैक्टली ठीक है दैट डेमोक्रेसी
Yeah.
ठीक है यार अगेन सी आई haven't been a part of other B schools so I don't know what happens there but here at least let's say even if it's a small thing like a canteen okay
Mm,
and कि how do you have to manage this canteen
mm.
ठीक है even that is a very big thing right
Yeah,
because if we look at it from the perspective of a distributor okay I can
yeah,
call that
very.
canteen a distributor ठीक है I'm managing a distributor and that's a very big thing
That's a goal of its own.
exactly
The
ठीक है
responsibility of its own. Yeah.
yeah
So small things like these culminate into all of that learning.
absolutely
You know,
absolutely absolutely
things makes sense. Makes sense. So that was 73 minutes of unfiltered conversation on FMS and all your experiences. But if we had to summarize it with your advice, with your two
hmm.
cents on somebody who's about to embark on their MBA journey, what would
Yeah,
that look like?
I would say never be underconfident. Okay, when I started my MBA journey, like I told you, I was from Kanpur. I never thought I'm good enough. The imposter syndrome, always had it. So the first corporate competition, I did not have a team to begin with. Okay,
Yeah.
so the three people who did not have a team made a team, and
Yeah.
we won the competition.
Woo!
ठीक है? Yeah, exactly. ठीक है? So I don't think please leave the imposter syndrome behind whenever you're joining an MBA. Okay. Always be optimistic about it. It's very very important to believe in yourself. I just can't stress enough on how important because this has been my personal experience and I don't know if I should say this here or not. But a lot of times people will try to put you down. I think that is the culture. ठीक है? A lot of times people will make you feel that you are not good enough. ठीक है? You don't have to give into it. The second thing is please be very clear about your goals. Okay. um I would say if you're interested in a specific field, good, please keep researching on that, but also keep experimenting with your ideologies. Okay, keep experimenting with your strategies. Okay, you have
Mm,
2 years. After that 2 years you won't be getting this free hand because
yeah,
after those 2 years someone will be paying you for the work that you're doing. Okay, so you'll be liable to do that. Okay,
mm,
these 2 years experiment with your ideas. Third, very important, try to make as vast a network as you can. Okay,
yeah.
and instead of network I would suggest make friends.
Friends. Yeah.
I believe in that.
Networking sounds a little cliche.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in that. Okay, I have friends. Like you might have heard that I always say I have a friend at this B school. Okay,
Wow.
so always try to do that. And fourth and the last and the most important thing, please don't shift away from your moral compass. You will get enough this thing instances where
Tendencies. Enough tendencies. Yeah.
yeah, enough instances in fact where if you're shifting from your moral compass maybe you will get something better, but please don't do that. That's my personal suggestion because I believe in that. Again, a lot of people might differ from this, but since you're asking me, I would suggest please stick to your moral compass.
The last point is something that really got me thinking. When your
Yeah,
moral compass comes in the way of your aspirations,
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something that you need to take a call on. But yeah, to summarize it all, be extremely confident about yourself. Leave out the imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Keep experimenting instead of constraining yourself. Fourth was the moral compass. Third was about making friends at all the
Friends.
relevant
Yeah.
places
Yeah. Yeah.
across
Yeah.
institutions. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it, Anushika. It was wonderful getting to talk to you with such
Thank you.
energy, enthusiasm, exuberance about all the things, and I look forward to being your friend as well from DB at the end of the
Absolutely.
day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rupal. Absolutely great talking to you. And I really hope I can help people. If they want, they can reach out to me on LinkedIn. In fact, like I told, so one thing that we did not touch on, and I would like to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, like I told you, moral compass. And this last thing, again, I would like to add, please keep helping others. Please keep giving back to people. So, we are giving back to people via this group, Underdog, which is a free of cost, this thing, mentorship group. We
Hmm.
have mentors from all the B schools, ठीक है, who are
It's a
mentoring
Telegram
people.
group, is it?
It's a WhatsApp group. I
Uh-huh.
don't like Telegram, so I did not shift there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's currently a WhatsApp group. It's free of cost for everyone, and a lot of people are being helped by it. We helped a lot of people crack their B school interviews last year.
Wow.
This
Wow.
year till now, it's for CAT, and after CAT, we'll again be starting this GDPI mentorship.
Wow.
So yes,
Keep giving back to the society as well.
yes,
That's a,
yes,
that's
very
a
important.
that's a pretty well-rounded sum of advices, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So again,
Yeah,
thank you, Anushika. It was wonderful.
same here, Kripal.